You want your business to grow, right? You want more profit. You want more revenue. You want lower costs. Well, a great way to do that is a total voice of the customer program. So today I'm going to tell you the top 5. Well, I'm going to only tell you 3. You got to wait till next week to get the next 2. But there are top 5 reasons why a voice of the customer program will fail. Hit that subscribe button. That way you can make sure you get all 5 reasons next week. So the first one is voice of the customer does not equal survey. Many of you may have even clicked this thinking, all right, great, I get to learn how to do my survey program. That is only one component of listening to a customer. A total voice of the customer approach recognizes that customers speak to us in surveys, although fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer do. They speak to us in social media. They speak to us in the engagement with the front line. They speak to us in their behaviors, their actions, and what we see and how they interact with our company, our product, our stores, our in-arena experience if we're talking about a sports arena. Voice of the customer does not equal survey. So if you're making that mistake, your voice of the customer program will fail. Reason 2, no tie to business results. How did I begin this? I talked about, do you want to have your business grow? Do you want to have lower costs? Voice of the customer is a phenomenal way to achieve business results. You listen to your customers, right? Those are the ones who are actually giving you revenue. You listen to those customers, and then you act upon what they tell you. But if you aren't tying that to business results, if you just are putting a score up every month and you're, oh, yay, our score went up, and oh, sad, our score went down, who the bleep cares, right? If it's not tied to a business result, if you're not actually increasing your revenue, if you're not finding ways to optimize cost, if you're not finding ways to grow into new areas, then what is the point of a voice of the customer program? A voice of the customer program will fail if you don't have some vision of business results that you are intending to deliver as a result of that voice of the customer program. Item 3, no process, just ad hoc results. Somebody gets an itch. Hey, let's go listen to the customer today. Oh, I don't really have a plan for this. I wanted to be curious about this. This is where you see surveys or other conversations that get 30, 40, 50 questions because somebody said, I kind of want to ask them about that. Let's find out about that information. Wouldn't that be interesting? Or that's one aspect. Then there's another aspect of, great, so you have information that has come in, even if you've got a well-designed customer experience, voice of the customer approach, and you're listening across all those things, but then you don't do anything with it. You don't have an internal closed-loop feedback where you improve based off of what you heard the customer telling you, or an external closed-loop feedback where you restore the relationship with the customer whose heart you broke, whose process you broke, whose disappointment they received because you failed on your brand promise. If you don't have a path forward to restore that relationship, an actual process, and we'll maybe talk about this next week, but a process to engage your employees with voice of the customer. It doesn't help if you just have this ad hoc approach. A lot of times customer experience can be viewed as sort of an art, and that does exist. There's some quantitative, there's some qualitative. I get it. The reality is if you don't have an actual process, a defined process around a total voice of the customer program, then guess what? Your voice of the customer program will fail. All right, that's 3. I got 2 more next week. If you want to cheat and check ahead, you can always go to totalvoc.com and you will be able to see what a total voice of the customer approach is and know how to avoid any of the 5 reasons why your voice of the customer program will fail.